My name is Yaju Tuladhar, and I'm going to be talking about positivity. I'm going to start this a little different. I'm going to start with a scenario that might sound familiar to a lot of you, since most of you are high school students. So one day, you walk into class, and you didn't do the homework before for whatever reason. Maybe you had a sport, or a party, or maybe you just fell asleep. In any case, you're unprepared for class. And everything's fine until the teacher decides to pull out a pop quiz. And this is when you realize there's no way you are going to pass this, because you absolutely haven't touched the textbook since like the beginning of the year. In moments like this, when our lives are challenged by obstacles that we cannot see or change, a sliver of fear strikes within us. There's no way out, and you begin to become nervous and panic, because in situations without supposedly any chance to change it, you are caught among the millions of consequences that you have already created in your head, and you are in a cycle. But why is this? Humans fear the unknown. Humans fear what they cannot control or when they are not in control. So what do you do when every day is a free space of unpredictable and uncontrollable scenarios? Well, that's what I'm here to talk about. No, I do not have all the answers to your problems. I can barely solve my own, but I am here to tell you about the first of many crucial steps. And that is going in with whatever scenario or whatever situation you have with a sense of optimism and being positive. Now, I know you hear this a lot. You hear, oh, be an optimist, be a little more like bright, look on the bright side. But it's harder said than done, because there are moments in life when you can't even see the bright side. For many seniors and many high school students in general, college processes are going to be a part of your academic life. It's nerve-wracking and insane, and you feel like you're in control for the first time in your life. You're choosing your future. You work hard, you apply, and then you wait to hear back. It's an unforgettable process. But what happens when you do hear back? Most elite colleges will accept less than 30% of their applicant pools, and so what do you do when you don't hear what you like? Or worse, you do hear what you like, but you can't go to your dream school for whatever reason. What happens now when you can't control the future and you can't see the light? All you can think about is the bad. All you can think about is the amount of work you've put in that seems as a waste now. You get swallowed up by negativity, and that is the dangerous part. Being negative is comfortable. Being negative is numbing, because you don't care about anything, and you don't care that you care, that you don't care. Being positive, on the other hand, is a climb. In an experiment run by Barbara Friedrichsen, a psychologist from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, she ran an experiment where she tested 20 participants. She gathered people from different personalities and different moods, people who were angry, people who were calm, neutral, happy, and she gave them all a slip of paper and asked them questions about their dreams, how were they feeling, and just future plans. She noticed that people with a more positive vibe to them, more cheerfulness in their personality, wrote a lot, twice as much as people who did not. She found out that positive people had more ideas, bigger dreams, and she, quote, said that negative emotions narrow your mind and minimize your opinions. I'm not saying that positivity is butterflies and daisies. When you're having a flat tire, you're not going to sit on the sidewalk and smile at your tire expecting it to fix itself. Just like when you come into an obstacle that you might have created, positive thinking isn't the only way out. It is not a solution, but it is a start. Back to the pop quiz example. Instead of doing anything about the fact that you are unprepared, you are frozen in your negative mindset. You are consumed with thoughts of how you're not going to pass. But in this time, you could have borrowed someone else's notes, you could have crammed last minute, or maybe, like most of us, tried to convince the teacher to move the test to the next day. Instead of trying to find a solution, your brain is encompassed with things that will only bring you down, because that is all you can think about. All you can think about is how you are going to fail, and it impacts all your actions from there on. And point. Henry Ford once said, "If you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you are right." The only thing you have in life is not your ability to change it, but how it changes you, which inevitably changes your actions in the future and your life around it. So as you can see, it's a cycle, and it's important that when you start in this cycle, you start on the right path. Huffington Post if you still don't believe me, has made an article about how scientists who are using quantum physics to reach the conclusion that one's perceptions and beliefs about reality actually alter reality to fit that perspective. And if you don't believe quantum physics, I don't know what you need to believe in. In relation of the world today, as many of you know, this world is stricken with poverty, politics, corruption, and everything bad. Do you think that sitting here and thinking about the doom of the world is going to do anything about it? Do you think that letting everything pass will solve anything? The answer is no. However, do you think just being positive about everything will solve anything either automatically? The answer is still no. However, the moment you allow yourself to become positive, you are allowing your mind to expand. With this, ideas are created. These ideas, big or small, will have their own snowball effect and create actions. Actions create impact, and impact is change. The thing about positivity is that it is contagious. Based off of what Psychology Today says, we copy everyone we see. Humans are run on mimicry. If you are positive, the people around you will adapt to your behavior and become positive too. If you become negative, you are going to become a beacon of negativity. As a personal example, I moved to the town of Burlington, Massachusetts when I was in 8th grade. When I first moved, I didn't ultimately fit in. It was a very direct change from my life in the past. And I had a real big moment of negativity where I've lost myself and lost what I thought was the meaning of life. But instead, I decided to find an outlet. And I decided to write, and in this writing, not only did it help me become positive, but people who read my writing, as I tend to write like light things and humorous things, tended to get happier from it. And instead of just dwelling on my sadness, I began to speak up and speak out. And just like this, positivity works in a cycle where if you take negative and you change it and you change your life on it, you will begin to not only change your life, but how others perceive you and how others perceive their own lives. It is a big dynamic process that anyone can participate in. My message from this is, don't feel disheartened by negative things. Let it empower you. Don't let life take you by its hand. Let life know that you can take it by your hands too. Take a look around you. Look at the world. We created this. Our powerful, complicated minds created this. Buildings, education, language. Humans have invented nearly everything we know and everything we are. In a world where we are daring, brilliant, hungry creatures for more. A world where we set the boundaries and we seek the unlimited. Why restrict yourself with negativity? If we can do this, if we can create physical life changes from our head, why can't we do this with positive mindsets? What can't we do with positive mindsets? Now, life will always be full of adversity. The first step into overcoming adversity of any size is simply believing you can in the first place. Thank you.